And good afternoon. You are here in Ballroom C of ClioCon 2025 for Segment 4, the AI-enabled law firm, how Clio levels up the use of AI in your practice. If you can welcome John Foreman to the stage. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I guess I should introduce myself to start. Hi, I'm John. I am the Chief Product Officer for Clio. You've probably never seen me before because I'm new. I've been on the job for 6 months. So, this is my first ClioCon, and in fact, this is my first conference ever for like a company that I work for that actually has like a user conference. Because every tech company I've ever worked for they've never had one of these. I used to be Chief Product Officer for a company called MailChimp, which many of y'all have probably encountered, like if you have like a homeowners association or a kids soccer team, or you probably had to send out a MailChimp newsletter. And I worked there for a long time. No user conference because we had like 10 million customers or something stupid, like can't do it. So I'm excited to be here to talk about stuff we're building. Never had to do this before, so super exciting. Is there an echo, or is that just for me? That's just for me. That's just a gift of this hall, is an echo that I'm just hearing myself talk. Great, love it. Okay, so some things you should know about me that will help you understand why the hell I'm talking the way I'm talking about this stuff is my background is in predictive modeling and artificial intelligence. So I got a math background. Actually went across the river for grad school, which was fun. I love Boston, cute city. And I've thought about AI for a long time. I wrote a book about AI about going on 12 years ago, before large language models were all the rage. So my book didn't cover them. Covered other AI stuff. But the reason why this background is important is because I think about AI coming from a perspective of working in it a long time and having a very particular view of what it's like supposed to do for us. I have a very optimistic view of this technology. I've spent my entire professional life working with it, and yet it's also a very pragmatic view of the technology. Hey, this thing is great, it's super useful, it is technology, the same way that like a car is technology or pizza's a technology. That's kind of how I think about it, and I'll get into that in more specifics, but just to give you some examples from my career that I think will be helpful. When I was at MailChimp, which is the world's largest email company, basically, one way to think about it. They're now owned by Intuit. When I was there, we had this issue where people kept coming. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want me to have a countdown timer, do I need to start this sucker? Because if you don't start it, I'll just keep talking for the rest of the. Okay, it's gone. It's going now. All right, sweet. Because I would go for hours, so I need to know. But maybe some of y'all just get up and walk out the door, and I'll know my time's up. So when I was at MailChimp, we had this problem where there's Black Friday, right? Black Friday is when all the companies put stuff on sale and there's a feeding frenzy. And we had issues with all these companies wanting to send emails to their consumers, their customers, the Thursday before Black Friday. So an e-commerce company would show up, like 10 million email addresses, and be like, I gotta sell backpacks now. And you're like, oh, you got 10 million email addresses? I don't know what I got. Are you legit? Are you a spammer? What's going on? And we'd have to stop them. And we'd have to have humans review, okay, who are you? I want to understand your business. I want to understand this list. Where'd you get it from? I want to take a look at your content, etc. And before you know it, Black Friday had come and gone. We'd approve them on Monday, and they would hate us and they would cancel. We used AI to solve that. You show up, who are you? Let me see your email addresses. Okay, who are these folks? What else do they receive? Do they look like they'd be interested in backpacks? What are you going to send to them? And AI could read all of this, understand it, and approve these folks like 30 seconds. They get on their way. They procrastinated. It's their fault, but it didn't turn into an emergency, right? And that was just the use of AI. And guess what the interface was for that AI? There was no interface. There was no chat interface, nothing. It was just an AI model that checked a thing and let people do their job. And this is the type of AI application that has influenced my thinking and how I think about this technology and how I've used this technology for the last 20 years. Let's use it in specific moments to get administrative work out of the way so people can go get the job done that they need to get done. Okay, so that was an intro. I'm sorry that took forever. It's not that I want to talk about myself for an hour. It's just I wanted y'all to know what I was all about since now I'm at Clio and I'm doing AI stuff. And this is an AI talk. All right, so people spend their day doing jobs they never set out to do. This has influenced like my entire professional career. When I was at MailChimp, I used to visit customers all the time. And then I went to a company called Podium. Podium is front desk software. At both of these companies, I visit customers all the time. In fact, one of my most memorable experiences was visiting a butcher right here in Boston, actually in Somerville, and talking to this butcher and being like, what can we build for you in MailChimp to help you succeed with email marketing? And the butcher was like, I don't want to use your software ever. I would like to make prosciutto. Please don't make me send emails. Get me in and out of your stuff. I don't even want to log in. Just do it for me. Do this job for me, please. And I quickly learned that in business software, there is a lot of toil. And if we can just help folks reduce toil, reduce administrivia, that allows them to get back to the job they set out to do, then everybody wins, right? And that's what I tried to do at these previous companies. So MailChimp is like, all right, I'll let you get in and get out of MailChimp. And then I went to this company called Podium that ran front desk software, and it's like, okay, you just want to get in, you want to get out? I can do that. Here is an image of something we built at Podium. So Podium runs front desks. That's what it does. And it does this for many verticals. And one of the verticals it does it for is HVAC and plumbing, okay? And we would go and we'd talk to plumbers, and we'd say, what can we do to help you run your front desk? And they would say, look, I got a truck, it's me, it's this other dude, we got people who call us, someone's got to pick up the phone. I don't want to pick up the phone. Like, I have things to do, right? I have to actually go on site. Sometimes the phone is actually their cell phone, et cetera. And so how do we use AI? Well, how about we just have AI answer the phone for you? And so one of Podium's main products, if you were to go to podium.com and look at it, is, hey, we have an AI that just, if you're an HVAC company, will pick up the phone for you. We'll talk to that person. We'll ask them what's going on. Okay, your tankless hot water heater doesn't work. Cool. This is the tech I'm going to send out. Here's the time slots I have available. Does Saturday between 9 and 12 work for you? Okay, cool. Booked. Thank you. Goodbye. And the cool thing is that the AI does this 24/7. A lot of people call with hot water heater issues, like in the middle of the night. Go figure, right? Like, oh, this is something that AI can do for folks. So this is how I'm sort of approaching things, how I'm thinking about things. People want to get back to their day job. They want to get back to making prosciutto. They want to get back to plumbing. And I think the same is true of folks in the legal profession. These folks have an important job to do. They went to school to actually practice the law. There is toil, there is administrivia that gets in the way. These are places where technology can really help. And that's what we're going to do with a lot of our AI products at Podium, right? So, what you thought you would do, got it over here on one side, advocate, advise, argue. These are things that attorneys are really good at. What attorneys might actually be doing. Administrative work, tracking their time, putting together a bill, right? Think about like a solo firm. You could do it all yourself, right? Like, these are things that, why don't we get technology involved in these? So I want to reframe as we dive into like, how can AI level up a practice, right? I want to reframe what AI is. Because these days, when people think about what AI is, ChatGPT has changed our whole way that we think about it. We think AI is this. It is a thing that sits there and says, what can I help you with? And it waits for you to show up, and it's a chat window, and you're going to talk to it. That's what AI is, right? When in fact, it can just go do work. It doesn't need to be a wallflower. It doesn't need to sit there and wait to be asked to dance. If it understands the jobs you want done, maybe it can just go do them, right? If people are submitting forms on your website saying, hey, I would love for you to represent me, it could actually just talk to that person, gather basic information, qualify them, see if there are any conflicts, and set them for a consult. And maybe it doesn't have to wait for you to chat with it. So I just kind of want to reframe that a little bit. Okay, so that's a shit ton of preamble. I hope that was helpful. Let's get into Clio. What do we want AI at Clio to do for lawyers and for law firms? First of all, kind of like I just hit on, we want AI that acts. And by the way, everything I'm saying, you've already heard it. It was all in Jack's keynote. All I'm doing is just running it back and going slower. And I'm the product guy, so I'll just use different words, maybe a little bit more boring. Just think of me as like an inferior, slower keynote, and you're good. Okay. So we want an AI that acts and not just provides answers. And so what we're doing at Clio is we're just looking across the entire client journey, right? Like, okay, this is everything that happens at a law firm. And we've always talked about Clio as the operating system for a law firm, right? The operating system for lawyers. So we've already been very ambitious about like, hey, attorneys have to do marketing. Attorneys have to basically project manage their matters. They have to do accounting, they have to do billing, et cetera. Like we've already been thinking expansively. Now the question is, can I get AI to act in that system? Not just the attorney, but like can AI come alongside and also do some work? And so when you think about AI acting and not just waiting as a text box to be talked to, you start thinking of verbs. What are the verbs that my AI, like what's the stuff it's gonna do? What about an AI that does intake? It intakes, it schedules, it analyzes, summarizes, researches, it drafts, it tracks, it bills, right? These are sort of the verbs we're going after. And these come from just talking to attorneys, talking to customers and be like, hey, what do you want AI to do? Actually do work for you, not just hang back and have you talk to it. Now, this is where we get into what Jack really hit on this morning, which is like, look, if we're talking about verbs and not just nouns, we're moving from a system of record, which is what we've talked about in tech for a long time. System of record is where you store stuff. It's nouns, contacts, matters, documents. These are all nouns. These are all things I need to store. And we're going to get into a system of action. These are things we do. And AI allows us to do stuff for you on your behalf. Now, I just want to be clear, in a system of action, like when we talk about this, I think immediately some of y'all will be like, oh, this seems a little scary. This AI is going to go off and it's going to do some stuff and blow everything up and I'm going to get sued. I grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Got anyone from Chattanooga? There's not going to be anyone from Chattanooga. Nashville, Knoxville? Okay, we got some Tennessee folks here. Cool. All right, I'm not alone. So, growing up, Chattanooga, center of the evangelical world, two sayings come to mind. One would be, God is my co-pilot. The other would be, Jesus, take the wheel. So let's think about those on like a spectrum of AI risk, right? Less risk, I'm still in the driver's seat. God is my co-pilot. So when I think about something like drafting, that feels more appropriate, right? Like I want AI next to me. I'm still here. Jesus, take the wheel. Maybe that's, intake or time tracking. Like, yeah, you just please track my time. God, I suck at it, right? So we're thinking about these on a spectrum of risk and then positioning your relationship to the AI based on that particular activity, right? So it's about like, all right, the AI can help you get it done, but it's going to help you get it done in a risk-appropriate way based on what it is, okay? So some of these, it's an assistant, it's co-pilot. Some of these, like, yeah, please, just go on and do it for me. And even if it just does it for me, it can still say, hey, I got you 99% of the way there, but you got to review it. You got to read it. You got to approve it to get it out the door. So that'd be something like billing, right? Like, please put this bill together for me. I still got to look at everything. I might do some redlining, some adjusting, some discounting, right? Okay. Record, action. Now, how do we think about all this at Clio? Because Clio is huge, right? Like, we got a lot of stuff going on. I run product. On the product team, we talk about the work we're doing in 3 areas. And this is where sort of our AI products are going to pop up. Win the right business. It's all about marketing, first-party marketing, right? This is everything from intake to email marketing to reputation management, et cetera. You have to do high-quality legal work. This is the stuff that lawyers sign up to do. This is why lawyers are here, right? I want to do great legal work for my clients, provide them with really great outcomes. And then on top of all of this, well, law firm is a business, right? I have to run a successful firm. So these are the 3 areas that we think about on the R&D team when we're building out products and we're building out AI. So what does this look like? Well, before I get to that, let's talk about this do high quality legal work piece. This is kind of new for us, right? This sits in the middle here, and this is where VLEX comes in. We have had products in this space in the past. A good example is Clio Draft. Clio Draft is about doing high quality legal work by having something that is replicable, right? All right, I'm gonna set up a template, I'm gonna set up an intake questionnaire, et cetera, so that this template gets populated properly every time. I know this product is high quality because I've structured it that way, right? But there's a lot more to be done in this area. This is actually where VLEX plays, right? So when we think about VLEX and the products we're bringing in, and you think about something like, well, I need a legal library, and I need an AI that can answer questions about the work products I am making, whether that's, I need a timeline, I need an argument, I need to understand what opposing counsel just filed, et cetera. Like, this is high quality legal work. This is stuff that Vincent does as part of VLEX on top of the library, right? So this is why we're bringing them into the kind of the Clio gravitational pull, right? Into our orbit is now we can actually attack all 3 of these things. Help me grow my business, help me deliver a great product, and help me operate this business, right? Okay. So when we think about those 3 pillars, they kind of boil down to these 3 products, which Jack talked at length about this morning. Clio Grow, right? Clio Grow, this is, going back to these pillars. Clio Grow is here to help you win the right business. Work, like the name implies, it's here to help you deliver high quality legal work, right? And then Manage, it's here to help you run a successful firm. And we can actually think about, I don't have a slide for it, forget it. These 3 products, now you're kind of wondering, this evolution in AI, last year we introduced Duo, right? The way it's organized going forward, which I hope was clear in Jack's keynote, is each of these products has AI built in. So Grow has Grow AI. Work, it has Vincent, it has AI built into its very core. It basically is an AI product. Manage has Manage AI. So we are thinking about whether I am trying to, that's probably an AI calling someone on the phone, whether we're trying to win the right business, whether we're trying to deliver a high quality legal product, whether we're trying to run our business well, we know there are jobs that AI can do to help. We know there is administrivia there. There are things there that are going to take a lot of time where the AI can come alongside and to get those things done in each of these products. And so going forward, that's how we structured the AI, right? Is, hey, you got Grow? Would you like AI to help you there? You have Work, you have Manage. Would you like AI to help you in Manage? Okay, cool. So that's sort of the structure that Jack laid out this morning. Okay, now, all that said, 4 pieces that we think about in the AI that we build. Okay, and these sort of differ from company to company. We serve the legal market, and so we have very different concerns with our AI versus like a consumer product. Like if you thought about like, I don't know, Sora, which is out there making ridiculous videos of, I don't know, people eating spaghetti or whatever, they would not have like, it's verifiable and secure, right? Like they don't care, right? These are our values when it comes to building AI products. It needs to be verifiable, integrated, proactive, secure. And I'm going to touch on what each of these mean. So verifiable. This means that the AI knows its shit. This is where the VLEX library comes in, right? If I am going to produce a recommendation for you, if I'm going to produce some analysis for you, a summary for you, I want to be able to link out to your thinking. Why are you saying that? Where did you get that from? So for instance, if Vincent builds you an argument, right? Like, okay, what cases are you citing that allow you to make this argument? Very similarly, Jack this morning showed Manage AI digesting a scheduling order, right? And I'll show it to you again, but like one of the cool things about it was, hey, here's all the key dates you should be aware of that are coming up. I can toss these in your calendar, but right next to it, it was, here's the scheduling order, and here's where I'm getting it from. That's what we mean by verifiable. Like, it knows its shit. And then integrated. Think of this as, it knows your shit. So the idea here is, I don't just need to know the law. Well, I'm in Manage. I need to know what you're about, what this matter is about, right? So the AI has access to your documents. The AI has access to you'll hear the phrase matter context thrown around a lot at Clio right now. The idea being like, I understand your documents, the stage of your matter, your contacts, et cetera. It is integrated with our products, right? And I'll show you how this kind of works in a second when we go through Vincent. Okay, so it knows its shit, it knows your shit. Proactive. This is the verbs. It does shit. Okay? So it actually gets work done. We are not interested in AI as a novelty or as a toy or as something you can just play around with. The idea is that it actually gets work done for you, right? You're a very busy person. You have some stuff that you deem toil, right? Hey, could you please get that done for me and I will review it. That's proactive. And then secure. Secure, the idea here is we're not taking your matter context, using it to train a general model, passing it back to foundation model companies, anything like that, right? That data has always been secure with Clio. That's how Clio sort of, one of the first companies to be like, hey, you should do your legal work in the cloud, right? We've always had security in mind and at heart. This just sort of builds on that, right? Just because an AI is involved does not mean the data goes anywhere other than where it's always gone. Okay? That's what we mean by secure. So, Grow AI. I just want to summarize by showing pictures of each, right? Grow AI, this is here to help you win more and win the right clients. I'm showing like basically a funnel here, and you can see like, hey, here are 8 leads you've brought in that need your attention. It's going to be working these leads, qualifying them, et cetera, and we'll dive into that in a second. Then you have Clio Work. This is an AI that knows sort of the law, and it knows about your cases. I know that you probably can't see it from the back, but some things I deeply love about this. I got a laser pointer. It's really cool. Over here on the side, you can't see, it's recent. And on each of these recent conversations you've been having with Vincent, right here in gray, which I know you can't read, just trust me, it's there. It actually lists the matter that you're working in. You can also select that matter right at the top. So you've got inside of Vincent, like, oh, you can ask it a research question. You have it analyze a contract. You can have it generate a timeline or tabular review. That's actually all done within the matter, and it just grab documents straight out of it. So it understands not just the law, it also understands your particular context. Super exciting. Oh, and this is really cool. I got this shot here too. Okay, so this is some analysis that Vincent did. Once again, going back to that value of verifiable, you can see it actually just hyperlinks out straight into the library, right? So when it makes this argument here, it talks to you about this particular type of okay, background and relevant law. Boom, you can click the stuff, you can read it, et cetera. So it's not, you can tell if it's hallucinating or not. If it's hallucinating, it wouldn't be able to link to anything in the library, right? Okay, cool. So that's work, and then manage AI. This is one where it's like, hey, AI does the toil, so you can do your work. What I'm actually showing here, which we'll dive into in just a sec, is our AI billing, right? So it is assembling a bill for you. This is the one where it's like, please just take the wheel for me, assemble this bill, and then, hey, I'm not gonna send it out, I'm not gonna text it out. Why don't you go through, review all the line items? Are these the appropriate expenses? Are these the appropriate time entries, et cetera? Are these the appropriate rates? You can review it, it just saves you a lot of time. Okay, so that's just sort of high level how we're thinking about AI. Grow AI, work, manage AI, okay? I still have 35 minutes, which means we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna be able to open up for questions, which I'm very excited about. All right, I'm gonna do a little day in the life thing, and that's gonna be it from me talking at y'all, and then we're gonna talk, run around the audience and get questions and answer them. Okay, so I just kind of wanna break these 3 AI products down further into how they might pop up. Okay, we're just gonna start with Grow AI. So here's a website here. And on this, I even put timestamps, 8:30 in the morning, right? So when I say day in the life, we're gonna try to just have time on it. I hope I got them right. I hope they're in order. We're gonna start at 8:30. It seems reasonable, but you can see I've got, hey, someone has come in, they're talking to this particular web chat and they're saying, I wanna file for divorce. And the AI can actually work this conversation. Actually work it through okay, here's the information I need. Do you have any of these documents? I'm going to collect them and grow. I'm going to go ahead and actually, if I go forward one side, you can actually see okay, I'm gonna grab this lead, I'm gonna summarize what this person is looking for, and I can lead score it, and I can run a conflict check on it. So if y'all don't know, conflict checking is now out in both Grow and Manage, and the AI can just run that conflict check for you. So, all right, cool. I've got the lead here. I know if it's a good fit. I know if there's a conflict. I know what's going on. It's grabbing me some documents. It can even schedule a consult, right? So that right there is Grow AI. This is how I might start my day. Would just be hey, I'm going to review the leads that came in, take a look at them. One of the interesting things that we learned in the Grow AI pilot, so this is in early access. You can actually apply to get early access to this sucker. Some customers already have it. One of the things that we learned through the early access program is more than half of folks' leads came in after business hours. And that's why something like this is so helpful. It's not that there was a human and somehow this AI is replacing that human. Most of the customers we talk to are just I do a really bad job at keeping on top of my lead funnel, right? People reach out to me. If I'm really busy, those leads might just go unanswered until I cease to have work, and then I might go back in and see who reached out to me recently. If it's after hours, nobody's checking it. Even if I have help, no one's checking it, right? And that was the case. For these law firms that are already using this product, we found more than half of the leads that the AI worked came in after business hours. And here they are, kind of set, evaluated, conflict checked, et cetera, ready the next day. Just super exciting. Okay, and we can just toss them into the funnel. You can go, you can review it, et cetera. Okay, now I advanced the clock on my slides from 8:30 a.m. to 9:21. I used to work in fraud detection, so I'm well, I'm not gonna use round numbers. I'll use 9:21 to fool people into thinking this is a real day. Okay, so 9:21, a scheduling order arrives. Talked about this, but the AI can actually take a look at the scheduling order inside of Manage AI. It can find the key events, it can extract them, and this is what I was referring to when I was talking about verifiable, right? This idea that I can go through, I can extract using AI the particular dates and events that need to take place, and I can go ahead and toss them on my calendar, and if I want to know where they came from, well, the document's right there, and we've lined it up where you can check, right? So the AI has done the hard work. Oftentimes these scheduling orders are, many pages, 20, 30, 40 pages, right? It does the hard work of, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick read of this thing and try to extract all the key things, right? And that way then you like, all right, they're already in a table. I can go ahead and toss them in my calendar and I can check where you're grabbing them from. So we're not just going to do everything automatically. You're still at least, in the passenger seat. Okay. So here's how it might look when it actually gets tossed in your calendar in Clio, right? So it's, all right, we got it. We threw it on here. It's on Friday, et cetera. We have a petition for divorce. This is a quote from someone who's already using this particular AI feature. So this one is going into general availability right now as part of Manage AI, formerly known as Duo. And this particular person, Michelle, basically said like, hey, this saved us a ton of time. Right? And that's what we're looking for. With a lot of these AI features, it's funny, like, I have this high view of AI that it's super helpful, but it's not that I don't think it's gonna like fundamentally change the world. What I think it's gonna do is like save a lot of time across a lot of different jobs. And so this is what I'm looking for on the product team to hear back. When I hear this back from folks, I know that we've kind of like struck product gold, right? Because like, oh man, this was tedious, this was annoying. Manage AI saves my team and I hours of tedious work. Perfect. Mwah, chef's kiss. This is what we're going for at Clio. Okay, now, time advances. I'm now at 10:45 in my day. And with the court date schedule, we've basically moved our matter onto the next stage, right? Now, one of the things we can do with Manage AI is, okay, your matter has changed stages. Would you like to update your client? We can actually go ahead and draft that communication. Now, once again, it's in an editable state, so you can jump in and edit, but it will let you know, like, hey, I want to let my client know that you have sort of moved on to the next stage in your particular matter. Here is an upcoming event that you should be aware of. We've tossed it in directly from the calendar. That's an event that we've actually extracted from that scheduling order, et cetera. So AI can just, hey, I'll just get this communication done for you. You can tweak it if you like to sound more like you, et cetera. Maybe throw in some other relevant information, but we got the basics here that this client needs to know. Great. Now, Jack covered this morning, but we have this AI actions panel, right, that's going to come in to manage, and it's going to make suggestions, including suggestions that might be inside of Clio work, right, which is this other place where you're going to do the substantive legal work, right? As I'm managing my matter and it's in different stages, I might need to jump over to do substantive legal work, like, for instance, understanding certain regulations around custody matters in New York, right? And you can actually jump into work from that particular panel. It might then open up something like this, where it's like, okay, what factors do New York courts consider most heavily when determining the best interests of the child in custody disputes? And it will give you the answer, and it will actually cite the legal authorities that it is based on inside of the Clio library, right? And that's just jumping straight out of Manage. Now, we may actually have some documents coming over directly from the client, right? So now I'm at noon, so just assume I'm eating a sandwich while I'm doing this. But for instance, if we have financial statements that have come in, we can actually have Clio Work go ahead and look at those financial statements, summarize them, and tell us, hey, what's going on? What's going on with the personal property that's in there? What's going on with the investments in there? What's going on with other assets? It can basically summarize everything that's been provided, so you have just a quick understanding of like, okay, this is what's in that documentation. And you can just jump straight into work to get that done. Now, you may need, as part of work, to actually, I gotta draft some documents, right? And so we have Draft for that. Now, we have added some AI capabilities into Draft that Jack talked about this morning. There's two of them that I want to talk about. One, we heard from customers, hey, you know what's tedious? Setting up templates in Draft. Setting up templates in Draft sucks. What can you do about that? We can use AI for that, right? Once again, doesn't need to be a chat interface. Just need to be able to set up some templates. The way this is going to work, you give it examples. Hey, these are documents I've used in the past. I got 5 of them. Can you please just turn them into a template? You upload them here, boom, it'll turn them into a template. It will automatically create that template for you. Now, once you have that template, here's the second AI thing. You can take that template and say, I need a questionnaire out of this template. I need a client-facing questionnaire. AI can do that too. And it will really do 2 things as part of that. One, it'll take a look at your template and say, okay, you got a bunch of different fields here for drafting a document, right? Like these all need to be changed. These ones here, though, these actually look client-facing. So I'm going to turn those into a questionnaire rather than all the fields. Two, all right, this is a client-facing questionnaire. I have to actually write questions that the client can understand. They need to be human-readable, layman-readable. The AI can do that as well. So that's what we've done. Take these example documents, turn them into a template, take this template, turn it into a client-facing questionnaire that's readable and approachable and only has the fields that are applicable to the client. Both of those are available today inside of Draft. And that might generate a document that looks like this, right? So now I have a plaintiff's notice for discovery and inspection that was generated from a template filled out using a client-facing questionnaire, both of those using AI. Okay, cool. And now what time is it? 2:03 p.m. Now, as I've been doing this work throughout the day, whether that's looking at my list of leads that are coming in, processing those, maybe looking at particular documents from intake, conversing with my clients as they move on to different stages of their matter, handling various scheduling orders, researching the law, drafting documents, etc., I have been spending time on things. AI should capture that time, right? And so one thing we've been working a lot on is AI timekeeping. Where it's at right now, it's available just in early access for those who want to try it. It covers really two things. One, time spent in email. Two, phone calls. Throughout Q4, we will be expanding it to basically cover more than 80% of the tools that attorneys use throughout their day, right? So think about like the entire Microsoft 365 suite, et cetera. We want all that time to be covered. And AI can really help with a couple things. It can start and stop the stopwatch, great. And then it can associate it to a matter. So in the case of email, it's like, hey, this email, I know this email you were sending in Outlook was really about this matter, so I'm gonna go ahead and match that time back. Why did we start with email? The reason why we started with email is from survey data, we found that this was the particular type of work that attorneys track the least accurately most often. Most. In other words, attorneys are really bad at tracking time spent on email. They tend to just make it a freebie, right? I don't want to, I write this email, maybe it takes me 10 minutes, I forgot to track it, right? And so we found that for most attorneys, several hours a month, 3+ hours a month, just like spent on email that doesn't get tracked or billed at all. Now we have an AI product that can actually do that. This is in early access for people. And we can take this and we can automatically assemble bills out of it. We've also released as part of our AI offering the ability to capture receipts via photograph in our mobile app and associate those with the bill. So the AI will take it, it will actually read the receipt, fill out the expense here, and then you can just associate it directly to the bill, which is pretty cool. Anytime you have like AI like look at the photo and like read it and fill in stuff, it's pretty nice. All right, now we're tracking time. We're taking pictures of receipts, we're tracking that, et cetera. You can actually have AI now as part of Manage AI. We have a little billing assistant that will actually assemble your bills for you, and then you can just approve them. So that's what you see here. It has automatically assembled a bill, and then you can approve it. This is actually going to be in GA as part of Manage AI today. And hey, here's 12 invoice. You can actually sort of like configure it, like when do you want me to do my billing, et cetera. But all right, it'll just say, I've assembled some invoices. Once again, you're in the driver's seat. God is the co-pilot. So I've assembled these. Please take a look at them, adjust if you'd like. This is a quote from someone who's actually been in our early access program, but same words I'm looking for that I think are product gold. It's a big time saver for me. This is a big sanity saver, right? Like, this is what we're looking for. This is toil. Someone was trying to get this done. Hey, it's gone ahead and assembled the bills. It just saves me a lot of like administrative time. Love that. Okay, so that was my day in the life slides. Just to go back, just to reiterate, I'm about done. We got like 20 minutes. We can do some questions. Clio Grow, Clio Work, Clio Manage. These are now going to form sort of like the 3 pillars that a lot of our product strategy is based around, right? And when you read Clio Manage in there, I am assuming really like accounting is in that sphere. It's orbiting the managed sphere, okay, when you think about that. Okay, and then draft, of course, is orbiting this work sphere. So these are like the three big chunks that we are invested in. And they just go straight back to this. Win the right business, do high quality legal work, run a successful firm. So when you think about like, okay, John is a chief product officer, he's got a research and development team. What are they doing? This is what we're talking about all day long. And we're deploying AI in each of these spaces. Okay, I think that, yes, that's my whole talk. So we've got 20 minutes. If you need to use the bathroom, you want to go get a cup of coffee, you are relieved. I will open it up for questions and just run around the room and hand people a mic and then answer them. Do we have anyone want to start? I see hands. I'll start over here with the Red Sox hat. Really? Oh, wow.
So I got a question for you. On Clio Manage, you have the Gmail integration, so you can just put in whatever the client's name is and whatever you wanted to bill. With the new, I guess it's in the beta program, will you no longer have to one by one enter the record it with the integration? Do I make sense? In other words, yes, record time and the actual client matter.
Okay, this is good. Let me repeat your question and see if I got it right. With the new time tracking AI, will we have to like record time of each individual email, or will the AI just kind of take care of that? The AI should take care of that. What's really great is I don't think I have any of my product managers in the room to sanity check what I am saying. And I'm realizing now that I could be in a lot of hot water, but I love making promises. But yes, the AI should be able to track, like, okay, these are what you worked on, they match to these matters, and it's this amount of time. And you shouldn't have to like note that email by email. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you have to do it yourself, email by email.
On the billing one, if you recorded your time on a daily basis, what added value does the AI software do for the bill when it says generate or approve?
Yeah, I think if you're staying on top of your billing, it can still do things like, hey, pull together the bill at this particular day. This is when I want them pulled together. And then it will also pull together any expenses that are associated with that matter. And then it can handle communications. So for instance, if you use text to pay as part of Clio, it could say, okay, bill's good to go. I will actually reach out to the client and request that it be paid at this time. So it can handle that amount of communication as well. Okay. Just gonna keep working my way backward through the room.
When you're using the AI for the scheduling orders, is there any feature that also will automate the reminders in advance for those deadlines? Or are you just getting the deadlines out of the scheduling order? We use a lot of reminders for those dates so that the deadline just doesn't come upon us, you know, the day it's due. What about the reminders? How does that work in the AI?
That is an awesome idea. And I don't know that we've built it yet, but I'm going to shove it on a roadmap if we haven't. So I'm assuming you mean reminders both internally and to clients? Mostly internally. Love it. If we don't have it, we'll build it. I can also just make promises because none of my product managers are in here. Well, okay, we have one product guy in here. That's Robin. He's from VLEX. He basically owns Vincent. So if I get a really hard Vincent question, let's hand it to Robin to answer, which I'm sure he's very excited about because he just learned about it. I'll go back, further back in the room. You've had your hand up for a while. Hey.
You just put my paralegal out of work. Why did you do that?
I can answer that.
No. Those of us who bill by the hour are now spending less hours producing the same amount of work. How do we deal with that with the client?
That's a great question. Okay, put your paralegal out of work, and then how do you think about billing by the hour? I've been working in many different fields for a long time where the whole putting the paralegal out of work thing has come up although they're maybe not called a paralegal, right? And what I have seen is that there is a never-ending supply of work to be done. And this way people don't have to look backward for so long. I'll keep walking this way. Well, let's take tech companies, because they're near and dear to my heart because I work at a tech company. And everyone said, okay, when AI came out, LLMs, they were like, hey, you know what LLMs are really good at, probably better than anything else? They're really good at writing code. So I guess we're going to fire all the software engineers. And then what actually happened, if you look at Clio, is we just keep hiring more and more and more software engineers, despite the fact that they're using AI to write software. They've gotten more efficient. They've gotten more productive. We keep hiring more of them. Because what you realize is like, work is like a goldfish. It just grows to the size of its container. Just like the work is never ending, right? And I think that even though AI might eliminate certain administrative work, believe me, there will be other work there. Now, if you build by the hour, what happens when some of these tasks are being eliminated by AI? We have seen a few different approaches to this. One approach would be, well, shit, now you can just take on more clients and give more people access to justice. Amazing. Great. Another approach we have seen is thinking about billing in a different way. Flat fee billing in certain particular practice areas, or thinking about how you might charge for some of the, like, hey, it costs a lot to use this AI, I might need to pass some of that along, et cetera. So we are seeing some people play with different billing models. We're also just really hoping that this allows more throughput so more people can get access to attorneys. Okay, I'll just keep bouncing back and forth. I'll do one closer up. Anyone got a question? In this region, this quadrant right here.
So I'm a little confused. Is all of this already in manage and grow and draft, or how's this all going to work?
Okay. The question is like, what is already out? So let me just run through it for you. Grow AI is currently in early access. If you reach out to Clio, we can add you to it and you can begin to use it. It works over one particular lead channel, which is web chat. And then we're going to continue to expand into, in particular, email, possibly SMS, right? My dream, of course, would be to get into phones as well. But that's like, you know, I just made someone have a heart attack somewhere out in the hall when I said that. Okay, so that's what's out right now for Grow. Manage AI. Manage AI was Duo, plus this scheduling order capability is now in general availability as part of it. It is out. On top of that, also the billing teammate is out. Timekeeping is separate, okay? And that is in early access, and that just applies to tracking phone calls that you initiate through the Clio mobile app, as well as tracking email, in particular Outlook. We will be expanding the sources of time that you can track throughout Q4. I'm hoping to hit, from an 80-20 perspective, like more than 80% of time spent in applications inside of Clio time tracking by the end of the year. I just made someone else have a heart attack out in the hall. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know the answer to, the question was, is timekeeping going to be standalone or part of one of these sort of big 3 AI products? I actually don't have an answer to that yet because I'm the product guy and that's a marketing question. And they don't let me answer those. They barely even let me name things. Okay, so that's manage. And then you have Clio work. And this is where I get to do the subject to FDI approval. We're buying VLX, blah, blah. Like, this thing is built. Like, it's ready to go. The deal's got to close. Regulators have to be all happy. And then, like, boom, like, it's all there. So, like, imminent. It's available imminently. Did I say that right, Robin? He nodded. And he's on the VLEX side. So, we're in agreement. Yes?
So it sounds like Clio work, i.e. Vincent, not Vincent. Yes, Vincent. It sounds like that's going to eliminate the need for my Westlaw subscription. Yeah. If I'm not supposed to say a brand, I'm sorry. Westlaw.
Yeah, so, and I forgot, by the way, in terms of dates, the 2 AI features for Clio Draft, which is creating a template out of your documents and creating a questionnaire out of your templates, those are also available today. And you'll just get those if you have Clio Draft. That just comes with Draft now. We just baked it in. But yeah, so can you replace Westlaw? Our intention is that you can. Like, please try. That is where we are headed, right? Is number one, we would like you to just you don't need to pay for these expensive libraries because we're going to give you one. And like Jack said, $199 a month for both the library and the AI, I think is phenomenal. But 2, we really do believe that an AI that is verifiable, i.e. links out to this case law, in many ways, it will allow you to replace some of your old workflows with, hey, this is the way I used to do legal research. Now, because I have Vincent, I can actually do it fast in this way, and it's all linked, and it'll actually replace using Westlaw for most practical purposes. And so I'm going to go over here, do this one. I needed to get my steps in today. It's pretty low.
A concern that we've had at our firm with using AI is with client confidentiality and ensuring that our clients' data and information is secure on the AI tools that we're using. I presume that with Clio, the AI that's being designed, it would be, is it closed to just our firm's information, and so that AI won't take our clients' privileged information and then give it elsewhere to other people?
Correct. Yeah, so when we say secure, that's what we mean. If you are going to be handing AI documents from your client's matter, those are sensitive, those are privileged, you don't want the AI companies to eat those documents, turn them into training data that might later be leaked to other folks. And so we ensure that that does not happen, both in the way that we have architected our system and in all of the legal paperwork that surrounds it that's you sure as hell better not do that, ever, right? So, and that's also how VLEX has built their artificial intelligence, which will become part of this offering. Correct, Robin? Boom. I'm just going to make him nod the entire time while I answer these questions. This would be great. I'll do one in the back first. I'll go the very back. Very back. All right.
With regard to time tracking, I've used a number of the programs, Point One, Billables AI, Ajax, I'm familiar with them. Is the plan to include in the time tracking the exclusions and the uniformity of language so that when I want every member of my firm to say, review and revise such document, I want it to refer to attorneys as attorney last name. There are baked into those applications the ability to teach the AI to do that uniformly across all members of the firm for consistency and for brand. I'm hoping that that's part of your plan with that product.
I'm going to ask a clarifying question. That would show up where on the bill itself?
On the activities tab, when it comes in, you actually have exclusions that you can say always refer to Jeff Platnick, my name as Attorney Platnick, refer to everyone that you were referring to as an attorney when it's pulling and extracting out the AI entry for the time entry that's going to come in. Everything has certain rules that you can uniformly have among all members of the firm. So it doesn't say collaborate with, correspondence with, it'll say conference with, whatever your uniform standard is, and it will learn that from you.
There's no reason why it can't. I have no idea if that is a roadmap item or not, but you yeah, okay. So you just made it a roadmap item. Excellent. Boom. The competition does it. I will copy the competition. I have no problem with that.
So how will and how can we integrate our documents and share file with this AI tool in Draft? So when we first started and we first got Clio, it didn't have the capacity to deal with the amount of documents our litigation was managing. And I understand now the capacity has grown, but how do we feed it those documents without re-engineering how we save and store everything?
Where do you store your documents?
In share file.
That's a great question. So where do you want those documents exposed? So are you specifically talking about sharing them over to something like Vincent? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to make Robin answer this question. So, Robin, on the Vincent side, I've got customers who have lots and lots of documents. What capabilities will we offer them to give as many documents as possible to the AI to answer complex questions? I assume this is a collections question.
Yeah, we got a bunch of different capabilities for large document sets. With large language models, usually one of the problems is the context window. So we've got a lot of different sort of chunking strategies to deal with large document sets within a single conversation or processing over them. If you want to do really large sets or document review, we got a tool called Tables or Tabular Review, which is like you imagine every document is a row and every column is a prompt or a question that you want to do, so you can extract really intelligent things out of all of the documents at once. The limits are currently set at, I think it depends on the customer, but it's in the thousands. We can set it up to thousands of documents depending on what you have to do.
I'll hold you to that. Thousands of documents, at least 1,000. Follow-up question.
I thought I heard the question being more of a concern about, are we going to have to change where we save and how we name documents for Vincent to find? And how does Vincent know where we want him to look? And will he paint my house? Or cook me dinner? Okay, sorry.
I've been using AI to help me cook, actually. I live at a fairly high altitude, and I was making a meringue the other day, and I was just like, hey, AI, how do I make a meringue at 5,000 feet? And it was super helpful. So it can't actually cook dinner for you, but it can be moderately helpful. So you can bring documents from anywhere into these products. You can upload them, et cetera. Now, that said, yes, grab. If you want it to grab them, the documents have to be in your matter. So documents that are part of the Clio document management system would be sort of first-class citizens because they're already associated with that matter. They're already in that matter. Sure. Yeah, so your question, which ones to grab? So you can also, inside of Vincent, grab particular documents and say, I want to look at these particular ones for this workflow. In fact, so Vincent has a chat window, but a lot of its power actually comes from workflows where it's like, I want you to do this particular, you don't even have to write the prompt. Just like, I want you to do this job for me. And there, it will actually, some of those workflows will be like, which documents do you want me to work on? And you can specify them. Oh, Robin's got thoughts, and he's the expert.
When you're in a matter, we make it really easy to pick documents from that matter. When you're outside of a matter in Clio Work, you can pick documents from anywhere that they're stored and managed. That's the first thing, is just sort of easy document selection. But the next wave of stuff that we've been doing is around actually indexing that stuff so that depending on what you just prompted or asked, Vincent can, I think what you're asking about is just go and find it. Just go and find the right thing. Like it could be a needle in a haystack. We're working on Vincent being able to get that from there. But the other thing that Vincent has that we do is we're running all of the matters through a matter context pipeline so that when you ask questions in Clio Work, it knows a bunch of stuff about the matter already. So it doesn't have access to all of the documents. But I'll stop there.
Yeah, and that goes to that idea of proactive. We do want to sync the matter context into the AI ahead of time so that it is aware of what's going on. I am out of time, so I hope that was helpful. It was not. I'm just john.foreman@clio.com. You're more than welcome to reach out to me or find me on LinkedIn or something.